How could a well-mannered small-town football star, a cop, the son of a police officer, end up on a path so divergent from where he began? We take a look back.
I just don't think it matches his character.
Old yearbooks from his early life in Enid, a snapshot of the Daniel Holtzclaw his peers, neighbors, teachers remember.
He's so respectful.
I never saw him out, ever. He was dedicated to football.
A standout on the gridiron, his athletic talent propelling him to Eastern Michigan University, a record-setting 4-year starting linebacker. Close teammates in disbelief.
10 years of knowing Claw, I just cannot fathom these things being true.
Titan on the football field to model officer in the field for Oklahoma City Police.
And there was no red flags really on Holtzclaw.
When you're the police chief and you're going through this young man's files and you don't see anything that's a red flag, but yet he's facing such serious allegations, what are you thinking at that point?
If you would have told me that we had a serial rapist, an officer that was a serial rapist prior to this event, that I would have actually told you that wouldn't have happened.
It's personal.
You still bear that burden because he was wearing a uniform.
Was there anything that you feel like you or the department could have done?
To predict what an officer's going to be ethically and personally is what they've been in the past. How have they grown up? There was nothing that we could find. I would absolutely love to know what changed in Holtzclaw.
A story so twisted, so incomprehensible, unfolding amid a backdrop of national unrest.
Things that are happening in Ferguson, things that happen across the country affect us.
Here in Oklahoma, the story of the accused cop simmered at the surface.
Did the national environment of distrust of police factor at all into how you investigated Daniel Holtzclaw?
No. When I came down here 38 years ago and I rode primarily east side of Oklahoma City, primarily the black area of Oklahoma City, that distrust was there then.
This case had the potential to be a racial powder keg. You had all of the victims, African-American women, systematically targeted. Why didn't it explode?
The people in this community are different. And the relationships that we have with our citizens, I think it's just different here.
There was time taken. There was open access that happened that was needed. And in other cities, activists, some that I've spoken with or read about, didn't feel that.
There were elements from outside of Oklahoma who tried to come in and stoke racial tension, even riots. Why didn't it work?
Because our own people pushed them back and said, not here.
As Oklahomans, we don't like people telling us what to do. And we don't like people coming and trying to impose their agenda upon us. I think Oklahoma was a great example of us working together because we knew in the end it was best for the city.
There have been allegations that police, the city, the DA didn't do enough in this case, didn't go far enough. Maybe there are more victims out there.
We just didn't find 13 and stop. We kept looking. We always felt like there was always more out there.
Is Oklahoma City Police Department more accountable and better after this case?
I think we will be, yeah. If we're not willing to look at that and make those changes, then as an agency and a city, we're not who we always thought we would be.
A city overcoming suspicion and fear.
And I think this case shows that the police department can do things that builds better trust with the community. And they did that.
Anytime you have a case like this, it's going to be an inflammatory situation.
And I'm proud that we live in a county where charges like this, no matter who is accused, a police department investigates them the way that they did here.
I want the rest of the nation to continue to watch Oklahoma City because we're going to be an example as to how we treat our citizens, no matter what your station in life.
For what benefit can come from other cities that are having problems, maybe they should look at us and give their system a chance to work too.
See, we can't dismiss the minorities' concerns about police brutality. We can't just dismiss their concerns about whether or not we're policing our own.
We can move forward and deal with cases in a way that reflect humanity, that reflect intellect, and reflect the justice system. There's a glimmer of hope.
A case that could have ended in chaos, instead shedding light and bringing hope to a community.
The Daniel Holtzclaw case, a painful chapter, as the country reels from racial tension, copes with criminal justice concerns, fails to find unity. In Oklahoma, a small degree of trust restored, justice sought and sealed by those who believed. Thank you for watching KOCO Chronicle. I'm Ariel Reshev. Good night.